Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over how to use Google Analytics to build audiences for your Google Ads campaigns. So this can apply to search campaigns, shopping campaigns, video campaigns, and display campaigns. So really how to find different audiences that will help you increase your conversion rate. So let's say we start over here in Google Analytics. We have our Google Ads account open. So with Google Ads, I've gone in, I just clicked on create a new campaign. So if we just click here, you can see I create a new campaign, we'll do sales, and we'll just pretend we're creating a video campaign here. So our goal is to drive more conversions. We want to click on continue. So what we want to do is make sure that we're reaching the people that are going to be the most relevant for our business. So we're going to go one at a time here. So let's come over here. First, you can see languages. We're going to look at all languages. So you can either select your main language here, or if we come over here to Google Analytics. So what we can do is we can come over here to geo. So under audience, we're going to click on geo and we're going to click on language. So this will show our top languages, and you can change your dates here for your custom date range that you want to use. But you just really need enough to make sure that you have enough data about the people that are visiting your website. So we can see here our top languages. So my top 4 here are English, and then my 5th is Spanish. And if you're able to find something over here, so for goal conversion rate, so anything that's a little bit higher, so I can see English Australia is actually higher. So that means people that speak English that are located in Australia are really going to be some of my most valuable customers. But if you see any languages down here, especially if you're getting more users than me, so if something's dominated like this, you would really just want to use English here, because for the most part, the people that are visiting my website, the main language they speak is English. So we're going to come over here to video campaigns, and we're just going to come here and we're just going to use English for our language targeting. But if you do see something there, so you see another language that's really helping you drive more conversions or getting a lot of traffic, you want to make sure you optimize for them as well. So we're going to start with languages as English, and then we're going to come over here to locations. So locations, you can see select locations to target. So we're just going to come here to advanced search for now, and we're going to come back over to Google Analytics, and under geo, we're going to click on location. So now we can see our top locations by users, and then we can look at our conversion rates as well over here to the right hand side, total value, and total conversion completions. So if we come over here, we can see United States, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia. So some of the top regions for people that are visiting our website, but you really want to break it down a little bit. So one thing I can look at is by Australia right here. So average session duration, Australia is at 1:35. Their goal conversion rate's higher. Their pages per session is higher. So that might be something where I want to make sure I'm targeting people in Australia, because they're clearly some of my more valuable customers. So I can come over here back to my video campaign. I can use Australia. Obviously, you only want to use the different areas that you actually ship your products to, or some different areas that you serve. If you don't ship your products to Australia or something like that, then you don't want to target them for your advertising campaigns. So we're going to come back over here to Google Analytics, and we'll break down United States a little bit. So if we click on United States here, we can start looking at some of our top states. So we can see here, so something like Illinois has driven a lot of users, but the average session duration is poor, the goal conversion rate is poor. So that might be an area that we just exclude altogether. So what you really want to look at is some of this data compared to your overall goal conversion rate average. So right here is 15.23%. So you'll see that some of the ones that are driving the most users, so 15.47% for Florida, this is kind of going to help drive our averages. So some of these areas that are driving the most users. But what you might want to do is break it down by metro. So that's what I like to do, is break it down by metro area. And then what we can do is we can click on advanced here. And rather than including any of this, we'll come over here, we'll add a dimension or metric, and we'll say, okay, we'll use users. So we'll just search users here, click on it. If users is greater than, let's just say 150, we'll click on apply. Now it's only going to pull the metro areas that have had at least 150 users in our time period. So we're going to come down here a little bit. And what we can do is look at the top conversion rates for those metro areas. So some of the top ones here, so Cleveland, Akron, Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas, Jacksonville, Florida. So we can look at the amount of users they have. So not a ton here with Cleveland and Akron, Ohio, but the bounce rate is better than average. All of these ones are looking better than average. The pages per session is for the most part better than average. We can also look at which ones are driving the longest average session duration. And we can use all of that data to make sure that we're targeting areas where people are the most interested in our content. So Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So we'll just come back here to conversion rate, and maybe we just want to come back. We'll come to advanced filter again. We'll click on edit, And let's just say users is greater than 75. Let's see if there's anything else that we can add in here. So we'll do users greater than 75. Okay, so now we've had Florence, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina come up. So maybe what we want to do is focus on some of these areas where the goal conversion rate is better than average. So Florence, Myrtle Beach, the average session duration is 3 minutes and 56 seconds. Our goal conversion rate is 31.25%. So if we keep scrolling down here, Greenville, New Bern, Washington, North Carolina, really good conversion rate, really good average session duration. Wilmington, North Carolina, Buffalo, New York, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Richmond, Petersburg. So all of these are really driving a lot of engagement on our website. They're improving our goal conversion rate. So when we come over here to location, we might want to come in here and just do something like Myrtle Beach. And we'll say Florence, Myrtle Beach, Nielsen DMA region. So we can come back over here to Google Analytics and let's just say Cleveland, Akron, Ohio. So that's kind of a surprising one, but looks like people that are in Cleveland are spending a lot of time on beach decor websites. So if we come over here, Greenville, New Bern, Washington. So this is one way to kind of find some different locations where you really want to reach consumers that are driving really good conversion rates on your website. And you can see this is obviously located next to the beach. Wilmington, North Carolina was a top one. So if we just do that, so we do Wilmington, North Carolina, Nielsen DMA region. So we'll come back over here to Google Analytics. Let's include 50 total rows. So if I keep scrolling down, you can see Panama City, Florida, Jacksonville, Florida, Norfolk, Portsmouth, Newport News, Virginia, San Diego, California. All of them are really located close to the beach. So I might really want to focus on them. Same with Charleston, South Carolina, very close to the beach. So these are some areas that I can focus on if I'm running a video campaign or a display campaign where I'm trying to drive sales, especially to people who live on the coast and are looking for some of the type of decor that beachfront decor has to offer. So that's another way to use locations as you're building your campaign. So we keep scrolling down here a little bit. It's going to say name your ad group. And next we're going to go over demographics and audiences. So under demographics, you can see age, gender, parental status, and household income. So if we come over here to Google Analytics, we can click on demographics and just click on overview. So as you can see here, the majority of my users are 55 to 64, and the majority of my users are female. So if I say, okay, maybe I want to reach people who are 25 to 64, or I could just really focus on 45 to 64, because that's really a huge portion of my visitors. It's about 50% total of my visitors are 45 to 64. So if I'm really trying to drive conversions, if I come in here to demographics, I can say gender, we'll just choose female, we'll get rid of unknown. We'll get rid of unknown here, and maybe what we want to do is we'll do 45 to 64. Maybe I'll do 65 plus, so we'll do 45, 65 plus. Parental status, household income. So household income really depends on the products that you're selling. So when it comes to beach home decor, generally what I'll do is focus on the top 30%. Because people who are buying home decor, especially beach decor, can be very expensive. So I want to focus on people that are in the top 30% of household income. You can include this all the way up. So you just keep going up and just include everybody. Parental status, it doesn't really matter to me for parental status. So whether it is a parent, not a parent, I just want to make sure I'm reaching people that have this type of interest. So with household income, I would do top 30%. And now we'll start to keep building this. Next is audiences. So if we click on audiences and then we click on browse, you can see there's detailed demographics, affinity and custom affinity, in-market, life events, custom intent, and remarketing. So I'm going to be going over affinity, in-market, and remarketing real quick. So under analytics, again, we can come here to interests, and what we can see is affinity categories. So we can look at some different affinity categories that are driving the most users. Again, we can look at the top conversion rate here. So if we just click on that, we'll see which ones are driving the highest conversion rate. So right now it's saying golf enthusiasts, family television fans, boating and sailing enthusiasts. So there's a few different things here, not exactly things that I would try to target. But if we come here to top users, you can use some of these affinity categories to see which of the top categories your people who are visiting your website are in. So shoppers and value shoppers, that makes sense. Lifestyles and hobbies, family focused, home decor enthusiasts, bargain hunters. So all of these really make sense. So some of them just like pet lovers, not really, exactly the same as beachfront decor. And as you look over here, the goal conversion rate's a little bit lower than average, and it's the lowest one on the list. Now, the highest one on the list is frequently visit salons, so it doesn't always match up perfectly when it comes to affinity categories. These are really broad categories. I don't use them very often in my campaigns, especially when I'm trying to drive sales. So what I'd like to go over is in-market segments. So if we click on in-market segments, we can see, okay, so out of 13,000 total users, about 8,000 were in this home decor in-market segment. About 6,000 were in the home furnishing segment, about 4,400 were in home and garden services, 3,800 home improvement. So you can see this really coincides with our website. Now we can also obviously look at average session duration, which ones are driving the highest average session duration, the highest goal conversion rate. So this one right here, 18.23%. You can see total goal value over here. So this one's high, especially compared to something like interior design and decorating services is much lower than residential properties for sale. So it might just be people that are looking for, in market to buy a new home are also looking to buy home decor as well. So you can find some different in-market segments. And if we come over here to our video campaign, we click on in-market. And what we can do is we can either search or go to browse, and we'll do in-market. We'll scroll down a little bit. So you can see real estate here. So in-market to buy residential properties. So then we can target people in that audience because we can see, okay, people that are buying a new home are probably looking for home decor and furnishings for that home. So just one way to find some different audiences by using Google Analytics. Now, last but not least, we're going to come back over here to our video campaign. We're going to get rid of this for now. We're going to come back. We're going to go to browse again. So we're in remarketing and similar audiences. If we come over to Google Analytics, what we can do is click on audience over here to the left-hand side, click on behavior, and as we scroll down here a little bit, we can click on site content, and we can look at all pages. So this is going to help us find some of our top pages and help us find some different remarketing audiences that we can build. So some of our top pages by page views and by unique page views. So let's just look at unique page views and we'll see. So best wooden beach signs. So you can see there's a specific wood sign that people have been looking at the most, beach themed bathrooms, beach coastal bedroom furniture, bedding and comforter sets. So one of the things I can do is you can see beach themed bedroom ideas here, beach and coastal bedroom furniture, bedding and comforter sets. Maybe what I do is I take everyone who's visited these three pages here. So bedroom furniture, bedding and comforter sets. There's another one right down here. There's tropical bedding sets. Maybe I send them all to a page that's just a huge page with a guide of how to buy beach decor and maybe some different inspirational pages for them, some different products that people might be interested in. So I can create remarketing audiences with these pages by, if we scroll down here, we open up our admin screen here. So we're going to open up admin. What we can do is come to audience definitions, click on audiences. And this is going to help us build some new retargeting audiences. So we can see we already have a bedding one for 30 days, bedding pages. So we've already created one similar to that. So I'll just open that real quick. So if we click on that, it's going to show some of these different bedding pages that we have on our website. So anybody who's visited these pages, I can make sure I'm sending them to a page that's just about bedding. Okay, so if I come back over here to create a new audience, I can do that real quick. So we can do audience source, all website data, and then we can do users who visited a specific section of my website. So we'll click on that and you can see page contains. So if we just come over here, we'll do page contains. So we can click here. So you can see it's automatically going to pull up some of those top pages. So we'll do beach or coastal bedroom furniture. We'll scroll over, do or. So anybody who visits this page or visits, let's say, bedding and comforter sets, any of those pages, or, and we'll come down here, keep scrolling down, beach themed bedding sets. So we'll do it one more time. So we click on it, we can scroll down a little bit and we can see beach themed bedroom ideas. So anybody who's visited these 4 pages, we'll click on apply. We'll say over the last 30 days, we've had 380 users over the last 7 days. So it should be a pretty good size audience that we can use in all of these different types of campaigns. So under audience name here, we'll just do beach, bedroom, decor, remarketing, click on next step. We can publish this audience both to our Google Ads account and our Google Analytics account. Scroll down, click on publish, and it's that simple. And now we have a new audience that we can target. So these are just some different ways to target audiences as you build your campaigns. So you can use some of your top affinity audiences here. So some things related to home decor and making sure you're reaching people who have those types of interests. You can use some of the top in-market audiences here. So we found that one with residential properties might be a little bit unique. So if you use that Google Analytics data, you can find more in-market audiences that would be relevant for your business. And then you can also create some different new remarketing audiences here. And then as you build your remarketing audiences, you're going to get some similar audiences you can target. So you can use all of that in your campaign. And you can also include the demographics like we showed, and then use some of that location and language targeting as well. So this is kind of how I use Google Analytics to build some of my Google Ads audiences and how to find some audiences that will help you increase your conversion rate over time by really looking at the data from your Google Analytics account. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments section. Thanks for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.